All right, everybody, welcome to the kickoff party for Service Camp. I am so excited. This is our first ever live broadcast, so we are going to do a great job. Everybody's going to shake off their nerves, and we're going to have a good time in here, right?
You got it.
All right, so my name is Stephanie Ramos. I am the events manager here at Internet Creations. And I am really pumped today because this is the first ever time that we're doing something like this. And about a little bit about me. So I've been here for almost 4 years, and most of our events have always been in person. So coming to you guys and doing everything remote is a little bit fish out of water, but I'm going to, in a past life, I was a broadcaster on radio. So we're going to bring in these skills right back all over again. So about Internet Creations, if you are brand new, so we are Salesforce consultants and ISV partners, and we've been in the ecosystem for a really long time, and we have a whole bunch of apps on the App Exchange, and we have a team of consultants that are, next to none. So what we decided to do was bring our team of consultants to you. And we wanted to put together, we're not going to, people are not really going to summer camp. They're doing things at home. And so what we wanted to do was bring our team to you. So Service Camp, which kicks off today, that's why we're having this little party, is a 2-week stint where our team of consultants are going to be meeting one-on-one with you. You can book time with them. You can go to ic.force.com/servicecamp to book time. And everyone's going to be able to meet one-on-one, talk about all the different things that maybe you have a project that you're trying to kick off, or maybe you are looking to, you're stuck on Developer Console and you wanted to learn a little bit something more. Developer Consoles for admins too. So whatever your fancy, we've got you covered, so you can book time with some of our consultants. And before we get to some of the drinks and the fun and games that we have promised, that's why you guys are here, right? I want to introduce to you the other 3 people who are down below to the side of me, other side. All around me. We're like the Brady Bunch over here. So we have Howard Yermish. He's our director of product, and he's also a lightning champion. He's going to be available through the 31st for you to go and meet. Hey, Howard, thanks so much for being here today.
Hi. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. It's very, very hot over here, but we're going to cool off with some drinks in just a little bit. So I'm excited about that. Down below me is our manager of professional services, Mark Budson. He is also a 16 times certified Salesforce architect. That is wild. Hello, Mark.
Hello.
Thanks for joining.
Happy to be here. Excited to be here.
Yay. Okay, and then last but certainly not least, our featured guest for today, where I know everybody's here to see this gentleman. It is the CTO and Vice President of Customer Connections at Salesforce, Charlie Isaacs. Hi, Charlie. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, Stephanie. I'm honored to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
So we have some big stuff that happened today, and we're going to get into it in just a little bit. But what you can expect for the broadcast, we're going to get into the drink mixing right now because I know that y'all are thirsty. It's happy hour, and we got to do our thing, right? So that's first off. Then we're going to get into a little bit of what IC has been cooking up this summer, this entire year, because it may be wild out there in the universe, but we're hard at work here at Internet Creations, and I know Salesforce is too. So after that, we're going to get into the Salesforce Summer Release Trivia that we put together for you, and there will be prizes. So the way that the prizes work, and I'll mention the rules again, but the way that the prizes and how to win a prize is the first person in the chat to answer correctly is going to win some prizes from Internet Creations. So that's how it goes. What those prizes will be, it's a surprise. Okay, so let's get into it. I mentioned before that in a past life I was a broadcaster. I was also a bartender in a past life. I wore many hats at one point. So I am going to bring to you a little bit of one of my favorite drinks that I've been drinking all summer long. And this is taken from the book, Drinking for Two. And this is because I am drinking for two. I am currently 7 months pregnant. I don't know if we can see in the chat, but this is my take on a mojito. So I got this recipe from here. So we're going to go through all these ingredients. And what I love most about this drink is that most of these ingredients you can just find in your pantry. So here's what you're going to need. You're going to need some fresh mint that I got from my garden. We're going to dump that in this little shaker. Okay. Then we're going to take some fresh lime juice that I also got from my refrigerator with some fresh limes. So I'm going to do, it's about the juice of like one to two limes that I already squeezed for you because you don't need to see me like going on the thing. Then we're going to take some extra limes because I like my stuff limey. And then coconut water. So I've never been a fan of coconut water before, but I really like the Zico water. This is not an advertisement. I was not paid by Zico at all, but I really like this coconut water. Sometimes coconut water has a weird taste, and you know what I'm talking about. So we're going to dump this coconut water, about 2/3 of a cup. This is the mocktail version. So you would just replace 2/3 of a cup with 1/3 of a cup of water, and then 2 to 3 ounces of white rum, whatever makes you happy. If you do a little more, I won't tell anybody.
No judging.
No, we're not judging here at all. And then this is like my secret weapon, apple cider vinegar. This gives you that delicious bite that you get from alcohol. And if you hear my dogs in the background, we're doing it live, this is what happens.
He likes it.
It makes it real.
Apparently.
It makes it real, okay? So we're going to take and we're going to juice our mint and do all that fun stuff because that's how you really got to like work your arms when you're when you're making a mojito. And then you want to fill your cocktail shaker up with ice. Put the lid on, give it a nice shake. So the shake, it's probably super loud right now, but the shake is going to really break up the mint and it's going to release all of those flavors in your drink. So shake it up, shake it up, shake it up. Pop off this top.
Something happened there.
Charlie's doing a great job over there. Pour your drink in.
That sounded really delicious.
Oh, does that sound? I hope that sounded really good in the broadcast. And then we top it off with some club soda. So whether you do a little flavored club soda, non-flavored, it's your poison. So we have our first drink.
Nice, Charlie.
Yes. This drink is so refreshing. It's so hydrating with the coconut water and everything. I hope that you guys can make this at home with you too. So before we get into the rest of the broadcast, let's cheers to my amazing team right here, and Chris and Adrian on the background over there monitoring the chat. And cheers to service camp, y'all.
Cheers.
Cheers. Na zdrowie and 100 lat.
Salud en español.
Y bueno.
All right. So what are you drinking today for happy hour? Let us know in the chat. Where are you tuning in from? I'm super excited that y'all are here, but I want to get into some of the other stuff that we have going on. So Howard, we said that IC was doing a whole bunch of stuff this year. Let's not leave the people waiting. The smooth jazz.
People waiting. We are going to slow jam the roadmap. All right, I'm ready.
This is not an episode of Love Boat, is it?
It is not. So when I had a state of the product earlier this year, I was very bold. I said, we're making stuff, or actually we're making lots of stuff. And so I wanted to come back with halfway through the year talking about the fact that we've made stuff and some things. We've really kind of upped our game this year in terms of what we're releasing. Once again, just a little intro about me, kind of give some context. I'm Howard Yermish. I'm our director of product here at Internet Creations. I was one of the original members of the Lightning Champions program. So first class, that was when they first launched it. Kelly was like, hey, this is great. I think I met Kelly at Texas Dreaming and was like, how do I get that t-shirt? And she said, you have to join this program. And I said, okay, because I like Salesforce t-shirts. I did it for more than that. I also am a certified Salesforce administrator. I am certified in knowledge-centered service as well. And that's something that I try to bring to how we build our products. So, moving right along, let's talk about what I'm going to talk about, which is two big things. I'm going to come back and report on what we built. So when I said, hey, we're making a lot of stuff, here's some of the stuff that we built. And then I'm going to talk about some of the things that are upcoming. And you'll get to see some forward-looking statements on that. All of our products are driven by really this desire to create a great customer experience. And we think that great customer experience starts with the best possible set of tools. And these are the tools that we have as part of the service experience suite. So all of these tools sort of get to four key pillars in the service experience suite. The first one is around responsiveness, and that's about treating a customer like a priority. Then we look at the utilization of your team. How do we find the needs in your support processes? We also want to make sure that your service experience are personalized. We want to make sure that you are communicating consistently and effectively, but giving that personal touch to really build the relationship with your customer. And finally, we need feedback. We need to know that the customer's voice is getting heard and improving the overall experience. And all of our tools really speak to that. So, of course, forward-looking statement slide. Where's my forward-looking statement card? It's very important to have that in any event here, forward-looking statement. I'm going to talk about some things that we've already released, but I'm also going to talk about some stuff that's in process. And when people say, when is that coming? My answer to that will be, I'll let you know when it gets here, because sometimes product work is really, really hard. So let's move along. Let's talk about some recent deliveries. So first up for recent deliveries is actually for email to case premium, kind of our marquee application. It's been on the App Exchange for forever. One of the big things that we had to do, and this is really setting the stage for a lot of upcoming development, is completely redo the Lightning setup experience. And part of what we wanted to do was we wanted to take this old Visualforce setup and create something that was just much more robust to work with. So instead of having 4 or 5 different setup pages, each one that you would have to do a bunch of different settings on and then hit save and you hope that you remembered, and if you didn't, you could leave. What we actually did was we made it so that you could just simply type in what the thing you're looking for into the search bar, and it would automatically take you to that part in the setup. So if you couldn't remember the name of a feature, not only are we searching the names of the features, but we're also searching the inline documentation as well. So if you're like, how do I set up a forwarding address? You just start typing the word forward, and it will take you to the settings in setup to do that work. And very easy to work with. And it also, there's a little button that lights up when you've made changes that you need to save. So if you're thinking, did I do anything? The answer is yes, we're putting that there. The other thing that we've done in the past few months is really started bringing some integration points with our other products. So now in the Email to Case Premium timeline, you're able to slay images using Signature Slayer. You'll see a little sword icon that shows up next to all the little attachments that are the tiny Facebook icons, Twitter icons, all those little things that you don't need in the case because you really just want the screenshots or the images or the substantive files. But those little tiny files you want to get rid of, little sword that's just hanging out there in the timeline. Also, if you find yourself, answering a second or third or fifth issue for that customer and you need to split that off to a new case, the case split functionality is also built into the timeline. So from that exact comment that was made, whether it was from an email or elsewhere, you can split to a new case right from the timeline and bring over all those relevant attachments. And so that's kind of what we've done for Email to Case Premium. Moving right along, and this was really, really huge for us for Simple Survey. Simple Survey is a native Salesforce application, and the way that it's engineered in the back end makes it so you can really, really leverage the power of Salesforce. Doing something like skip logic in that native tool was a very, very heavy lift. And it was something that we knew we've wanted to do it for a very, very long time. And we had to rebuild our whole landing page platform, which we launched last September, in order to get ready to do skip logic. We just needed a whole different, more robust system to do it. Skip logic is really, really nice. It works really well. It's easy to set up for people. And that's something that so many of our customers had been asking for it. So it was just a pleasure to be able to deliver that and deliver it in a way that I've shown it to people and they're just like, how did you come up with this really graceful way of doing it? It's just, I think part of it was we looked at every single way that everybody else had been doing it and just figured out something that's just really graceful. So I'm really proud of that feature. And a lot of our customers who've played with it have really, really embraced it nicely. The second thing that we did, and this was almost like an, oh, by the way, we solved this problem. We've always wanted to make our applications really, really simple to install. And that's not just for Simple Survey or for anything else, but how do you make that setup experience faster? How do you make it so that from the app exchange to testing and running your survey programs, could we get there? Well, one of the key points was actually the complexity of setting up that force.com site for your survey landing pages. And that is covered. So now we literally have a button that says, set up the site. You click it, and then a little checkbox appears when it's done. It all happens automatically in the background. Now, not only is that going to make it easier for our customers, but we actually had a fair amount of our support volume came from that specific feature, just trying to get the landing pages set up properly. One click, done. This actually has made it so that I did a sample setup process for Simple Survey. You can get Simple Survey set up and running and send a test survey to yourself in about 5 minutes. So we think that's a pretty good metric in terms of getting from the app exchange to testing. So we're pretty proud of that. Next up, and this is something for case flags that I am really, really happy about. First of all, we also took that same setup experience that we built for Email to Case Premium, and we moved it over to case flags. So that same inline documentation, quick finding all the different settings, has come to case flags as well. It's actually coming to all of our products over the next year. Case flags got it right after Email to Case Premium. Super duper happy about this. The big thing is multiple aging processes. Traditionally, we would have a single set of timings, and then you would use, whether it was a workflow rule, because remember, Case Flags was released back, I believe, in 2012, whether it was workflow rules or then Process Builder or Lightning Flows to adjust the timing. We wanted to make it so that you could just make the different timings for different scenarios all within the app. That's going to help us from a troubleshooting standpoint, but also getting set up. Case Flags is a much faster setup from out of the box, getting it on from the app exchange and getting all of those aging processes there. What that means is you can say, hey, any case that's marked as a high priority for this particular product for our platinum customers, have it age at this speed. And that's all defined inside the app. And then another thing that might be, for one of our free products, for customers that aren't paying yet, let's slow things down because we want to prioritize our overall service level agreements. One way of doing all of your aging, now you can do it as many different ways as you want. And the way they work is you just define all the different conditions. And it can be record types, it can be different field values, it can be all kinds of things. And in the case where multiple rules may apply, we actually have it ordered, so that you just sort of work your way down the order, and whatever is the one that it hits first, that's what it stays with. So if it might have applied to a couple things, you just put your most important ones at the top. Once they get hit, you just keep going through, and you're all set. It's a really, really nice feature for case flags. So moving right along, and this idea for Signature Slayer was born at a Shake Shack. And the reason it was born at a Shake Shack is I was busy basically waiting for my kid during a theater class. And I was like just bored there. And I kept remembering how we were doing Signature Slayer. And it was largely the admins that would do the slaying of the images, because there was this button that just sat on the case page layout that said manage attached images. And no end user really knew what to do with that. So what we did was we made this new component. It just says, do you need these? And it surfaces those little icons. It surfaces the YouTube icon, Twitter icons, Facebook icons, Instagram icons. And when you see those tiny little files, you have two buttons. You have a little button that says, yeah, I want to keep this. Well, just take it off the list. I'm going to keep that file. Or a remove button, simple question. And when you're done, the component shrinks up to nothing so that when there are items to slay, the component gets a little bit bigger, getting your attention. But as soon as you're done, it gets out of the way. So it gives you back that real estate that in Lightning, all those components, they are starting to demand attention. So this is part of our new way of designing things, which is only have the components ask for attention when appropriate. So that new Lightning component for end user slaying is huge. Again, I mentioned the Lightning setup experience. Signature Slayer got that as well. But the dismissal and recovery is something where traditionally you could slay images, but you couldn't say, no, I want to keep that image. So that was a big piece of functionality we added for Signature Slayer. All right. So now, what's next? This is the part where, again, I got to put up the card, forward-looking statement, because we're going to talk about some stuff that's not out yet. But the good news is some of the things that I want to talk about right away with Case Merge Premium are just about to come out. I've got some very exciting stuff that's coming out. It's in QA now. I'm playing with builds. It's pretty great. We've got some final tweaking to do, so figure another few weeks for this next thing. And that's for Case Merge Premium. That is our new duplicate detector as a Lightning Web component. This is something where this detector, as I mentioned with Signature Slayer, it's something that when no cases are detected, it is literally just this little thin bar that says no duplicates detected. But when there are duplicates detected, it unrolls and it shows you where the duplicates are, and it lets you find new duplicates. You can also dismiss them. So if it's not a duplicate, if Case Merge Premium says, hey, we think this is a duplicate, and you say, no, it's not, it doesn't show up again. So you don't have to keep dismissing it or keep ignoring those files or those cases. It only shows you what you haven't seen yet. And then from there, you can directly go into the merge process. What's nice is this has been optimized for whether it's a wide column or a narrow column. It sort of readjusts its size. It stays out of the way when it's not needed. And when it's detecting duplicates, it asks for attention. The next thing that we're doing with Case Merge Premium, you heard me talk about case flags where we have different aging speeds for your cases. Well, what we're doing is we're taking that approach where multiple teams are going to have duplicates that look differently. So we're doing duplicate criteria by your different record types. That means if you have an IT team, a professional services team, a product support team, sounds like us, doesn't it? That each of those different teams may want to say, I want my duplicate criteria to look like this. You can now define 3 different sets, 5 different sets, as many different sets as you have. You can define duplicate criteria for that. And it's also based on lots of different logic. So you can traverse record types. So you can say, I would like a product support record type to have this duplicate criteria. But it can go look for IT cases, just in case someone starts thrashing your different support channels. So you can have specific criteria for that record type that goes and looks at the other record types as well. It's a very, very cool way to do it. And that's something where I believe that is coming in, I don't want to call it September, October. Think fall. Think leaves changing. Leaves changing, you're going to be updating your duplicate criteria. The next thing that we're doing for that is a utility bar component. What's nice about that is our duplicate detector runs on the record detail page. So when you're looking at the case, you see the duplicates. What this utility bar component is going to do is it's going to surface duplicates as they come in on the cases that you own or as part of the queues that you own. So you can do things like say, oh, in this little utility bar, it'll tell you, oh, I've got 18 new duplicates, and it'll show you the cases where each one has some duplicates. So if you want to start merging before people are getting assigned cases or wasting time with those cases, you'll see those duplicates as they come in as opposed to when you get to the case. It's a nice thing to do. We're also working on confidence scoring, and this is something where that's part of our process to get to an automatic merge process. Confidence scoring is just very, very complicated to do. It's a big, big lift, but I'm looking forward to see how that comes out. The next thing that I want to talk about is it's this thing we're doing for case flags. And I have to tell you, about 2 years ago, I sat down with a couple of different people in our office, and we talked about this. And the reason we talked about it was because our tools for a long, long time have been all about how do we get the end user to be more productive. And we've done some stuff that's good for support managers in terms of some analytics and some reporting and things like that. But this triage view for case flags, this is something that is really geared for your support triage person, the person who's monitoring all of your case queues, looking through, making sure everyone's getting assigned the right work. It really shows you the health of your support organization and then gives you actionable tasks to do. Everything from reassigning cases to making sure that you're balancing your overall load with people to making sure you can send out a quick reply. Anything that you need to do on that case and those very, very quick actions, you're going to be able to do with this triage view. We're still trying to figure out a good name for it. There's some debate internally. If you have any suggestions, we'll let you know. That's coming at the end of this year. Think November, December for this triage view. It's a very, very difficult UI. We've been playing with the prototypes. It's very, very cool. What you're seeing on the screen here is a nice sort of small look at what's coming soon. There's even this concept where if you want to see your worst offending cases to all of your cases, you'll be able to sort of slide through so that it only exposes what you need to pay attention to the most, as opposed to everything that needs to be worked on. And then the other thing I mentioned is this Case Flags Insights tool. What that's going to do is think about all of the reporting and metrics. Case Flags is a kind of hard tool to do a lot of reporting on. There's great reporting tools, and we package some really great stuff, but we really want to take some of the things that we learned from Simple Survey from its Insights tool and bring it to your support processes. So some really good stuff for Case Flags. I'm super excited about that. Couple more things that I want to talk about for both Simple Survey and Email to Case Premium. We're continuing doing stuff with skip logic. Some of that is the skip logic components themselves in terms of ways you can do skips, things like skipping to skip logic that allows you to take into account where you go at the end of the survey. So imagine that you redirect at the end of the survey to different pages based on answers to some of those questions. We also need to do a record viewer that shows you what was skipped because of skip logic. And we need to update Survey Insights that takes into account skip logic in a really interesting way. Survey Insights, we're also working on comparisons so that you could do things like say, okay, well, this person versus this person, how are they doing for certain kinds of cases? Maybe you want to compare against products. Maybe you want to compare against team members, different kinds of things, date ranges, things like that you'll be able to do. We're also working on additional question types, different kinds of things that we can use as both the first question on the survey as well as what you can embed into the survey as well. Those things are looking Q4. Additional question types is probably Q4 and beyond. Some of them may come sooner. It just depends on the different kinds of questions and how we can work with that. Email to Case Premium, we have a thing we're working on right now. We're in that sort of, call it a month and a half away. It's this thing called widespread issues. Imagine that your service organization has something that's going to affect a lot of your customers. And you need a consistent way to talk to those customers so that instead of saying, hey, what we're going to do is we're going to copy and paste what our support manager or a product manager or a lead developer wants to say to 100 different customers. Just imagine that you have an issue and it's 100 different customers it's affecting. You need to communicate out to all of those customers in a consistent way. That's what that widespread issues functionality for Email to Case Premium is going to do. But it is going a little bit beyond, and I mentioned KCS earlier. What the widespread issues component will do is it will actually, in your support organization, help you sort of crowdsource internally the answers to that situation quickly. So it has an internal voting component, and it also lets you send out those responses in terms of something that's working to all of the related cases to that widespread issue. But your customers, when they reply, it all goes to the case that they already had open for that. So it really allows you to stay one-to-one with your customers, but outbound communication can be super efficient. And that's coming Q3. So think September on that is about when that's going to hit. We are also taking that same team approach. Configuration by record type is a big deal. If you have 3 different teams and you want to configure Email to Case Premium in 3 different ways, so a lot of the settings, you have to configure it one way right now. You have to make a choice. But we're going to set it up so that each team can have their own set of configurations. It's very, very cool. And finally, more activity types in our timeline component. Things like chat will be there. If you have any kind of events or to-dos, these are the kinds of things, tasks, activities, we want to put them into our timeline component so that not only are you seeing the case comments and the status changes and things like that, the field updates that the timeline shows now, but we want to take all of the things related to the case and bring it to that timeline. So as I mentioned, these tools that I've talked about are all part of our service experience suite. I didn't cover every product that we have, but I wanted to give you a good look at what's coming up. Again, all of these things speak to responsiveness, utilization, personalization, and overall feedback. So I'm really excited that I'm able to share that with you. But most importantly, what I need from everybody who's tuning in and from our customers is we need your feedback. And there's two different ways that you can do that. Other than just finding me and saying, hey, Howard, I need some help. What I really encourage people to do is actually schedule time with the product managers. So if you go to ic.force.com/product feedback, that is schedule time with us. You're going to talk to us about your specific use case. We want to know. We like working through that. It helps us really innovate our products. Also, join the Service Experience Suite group on the Trailblazer community at ic.force.com/trailblazer. So again, these are things where that Trailblazer group, we did just start. We're getting our feet wet with that, trying to get some more content in there as relevant. But as we get more people in there, we'll have more relevant things to share. And I think that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So if you have any questions, feel free to ping me, or if stuff shows up in the chat, I'm happy to answer it.
Well, I have a quick question. Can we also find you at Shake Shack?
Not that often, especially right now. You won't find me at Shake Shack because I'd have to be in the parking lot.
You all make me hungry. Stop that.
Nice.
I know it's dinner time on the East Coast, but it doesn't sound like Internet Creations has that much going on. Like I don't know about you. No, we haven't really been. We've just been like sitting on our hands this entire pandemic.
Pretty much.
All right. So next up, we told you that there was going to be trivia and prizes. So we have gone to it's time for SALESFORCE Trivia. Howard, do you have any tunes any sound effects you want to play for us?
I don't know if this works.
It's a little Christmassy, but Christmas in July, no?
No, all right. Well, let's how about we go with a little funkier then? No?
Sure.
Sure, it works. It works. So our trivia hosts today are going to be Mark and Charlie Isaacs. So, gentlemen, there's been some big news that just got that's official today, right? SALESFORCE summer release is officially live.
Summer 20 is out. Woohoo!
Woo!
And Brett Taylor just tweeted that.
So go follow Brett Taylor on what? Brain went backwards. Are you sure there's no alcohol in here?
Brett Taylor.
There you go.
The word of the day is Brett Taylor.
Thanks, Howard. So that's really exciting news. And so because we knew that was going to be the case, we decided that we wanted to celebrate SALESFORCE Summer Trivia, Summer 20, and post and do trivia Summer 20 style, because why not? So let's get into it. Again, the rules of the game are first person to post the correct answer in the chat is our winner, and we'll be asking you to send us your details via email, servicecamp@internetcreations.com, and we will get you out some prizes. Let's get into it.
Valuable prizes.
The game are first person to post the correct answer in the chat is our winner, and we'll be asking you to send us your details via email.
Sounds like we're getting a little feedback, huh?
At internetcreations.com. And at least I sound great. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Let's do it, guys.
We'll get started here. One thing I want to call out, we snuck in a couple still SALESFORCE trivia questions, but they're not Summer 20 questions for those of you playing at home. So we're going to take turns. So I'm lucky enough to go first, but because I go first, Charlie gets the best questions.
That's right. I cherry-picked my questions. Just like cases, I cherry-picked my cases for the service product.
No, Charlie, we don't cherry-pick cases.
Oh, we don't do that because we use
case flags.
We use case flags.
That's right. Case flag. That's right. I forgot. Yeah.
All right. So here's the first question, folks. Starting with Summer 20. What can you change on a Lightning Knowledge article record? That implies you couldn't do it before. So starting with Summer 20, what can you change on a Lightning Knowledge article record?
I know.
Well, so we're going to give 30 seconds or so. And and then we'll move on to next because we can't tell if someone answered the question. So
yeah, we're just in our own little world here. So I know Adrian's monitoring the chat. We got Chris on the ones and twos in the back. So we're just here. But while people are getting their answers in, what has been your favorite feature so far in the summer 20 release?
You want to go first, Charlie?
No, you go ahead. I'm going to talk about. I might have a trivia question related to my favorite.
I'm afraid to give away some of the answers myself, actually, because So, believe it or not, this may sound hokey, but one of my favorite things about Summer 20 is actually the new icon or mascot. I kind of like what they did with Astro and the heart. I think that was actually pretty special, and considering the environment and climate we're in, that was a really good call. From a technology perspective, I'm trying to avoid answering any trivia questions. I'm really actually looking forward to Service Cloud Voice. That is actually really cool. What they'll be able to do there, partner with Amazon and other providers to provide some really cool capabilities around that. And there's other ones that are really, but I don't want to give away trivia questions. So, Charlie,
you got to be careful.
Well, so I'm the IoT guy at Salesforce. So when you have a hammer, everything looks like a nail, and my hammer is lightning flow. And let me just say that, and I don't want to give away any trivia questions either, but they've made significant improvements to the UI of Lightning Flow, starting from the start. And if you've seen the release notes or played with the new flow, you'll get what I mean. All the way to being able to change properties and things like that. So there, I didn't give away any trivia questions. So by the way, while I'm talking, what I want to talk about here, there's a lightning storm. I don't know if you can hear the thunder in the background here. So someone's gonna have to call me back if everything goes black on my end. Okay, if everything goes dark, call me back. Here we go.
Oh, wow.
There it goes. Sounds just like that.
Thanks, Howard.
Okay.
That's a pretty intense storm. I think we do have a couple answers. So let's reveal it. The answer to trivia question number 1 is owner. So owner. Very, very good.
Okay.
All right.
I think I'm up.
Yes,
You're
you are.
up, Charlie.
Okay. So question number 2, what is the super exciting, awesome, amazing, non-GA, that's the operative term, non-GA feature that will make traditional page layouts less important?
This is one of my favorite features.
Oh, yes, I forgot to mention, this is a forward-looking statement because it is in non-GA mode. FLS. Safe harbor.
Oh, there's your Boston coming out, huh?
That's right. Safe harbor. We used to say safe harbor. We don't say that anymore. Steve Mo says that, though. Steve Mo, are you on the call? Shout out to all the MVPs on the call. Hey, MVPs.
Hey, MVPs.
Shout out to all the lightning champions on the call. How long do I have to stall while I'm talking about this? Actually,
I think that works.
This feature is really cool because, am I allowed to talk about that? Am I giving away the answer? Has anybody answered yet?
We're checking.
I think let's not give away the answer too much, but a hint is that we did do a webinar on this just very recently in June.
There we go. And this came up in, they demoed it heavily in Trailhead DX not too long ago. So if you attended Trailhead DX, you saw this feature.
They had a huge success program around it too on Trailhead when it was first announced. It was really cool.
Yep.
All right, we'll give it just a few more seconds. I know people are Googling this now. They're like Googling the questions. You don't want to give them too much time. All right. So, should we reveal the answer?
Sure, let's reveal the answer because the suspense is killing me. Dynamic forms.
Dynamic forms.
Whoop, whoop.
I know one of our lightning champions and one of the consultants actually for service camp I was going to say service champ because he is a lightning champion. He loves dynamic forms and actions, and we went into it quite in depth during the last webinar. So that was really exciting to learn about.
Awesome. Take over, Mark.
Okay. What new standard navigation view reduces navigating between your list and your records? So standard navigation view reduces navigating between your list and your records. Saves a bunch of clicks, which is always good.
We love saving clicks.
And the hint is actually a console had it for a while. This is now kind of being rolled out to everywhere now. You know, Charlie, you mentioned flow has been redesigned. One of the things I remember coming across on the one of the admin architecture guides is not only the UI, but they re-engineered the whole flow architecture. So it's now faster than workflows.
Yes, definitely.
So that's a huge change, and faster than process builders, obviously. So that's kind of cool.
Okay, so I guess the stream is delayed now, so we're being told that we shouldn't really wait for the answers to come in, but we're still awarding prizes, right?
Yeah, we're still gonna award prizes, so we can just continue to kind of just go. We'll give people a few seconds before we reveal the answer, and the answer is
split view.
Split view.
Woohoo!
Did someone say split view?
Yes.
Okay, we'll talk some more about lightning flow in a minute. So keep that thought, Mark.
Okay. All right, Charlie, you're up.
Oh,
this is one of your favorites, right?
What?
Speak of the feature. What 2 new ways can a flow be triggered? And this is why I didn't disclose my favorite. This is actually my favorite feature in Summer 20. I'm already using it. I use it every day. So what 2 new ways can a flow be triggered? Typically, people would trigger a flow when they invoke a screen, for example, right? In Service Cloud, or if it's an agent, they'll drag it and drop it in their page view, and they'll invoke it right from there, and they'll walk the agent down a path to the right answer, right? So that's one way to launch a flow. Boy, it's really coming down here now.
Oh boy, stay safe, Charlie.
It's not as bad as that, but it's starting to rain pretty hard here. I might build an ark.
We might have to. Should we? These are the sounds that are going to put our listeners to sleep. These are the sleep sounds that I put on at nighttime.
Yep.
All right, let's reveal the answer. So what?
Okay, the answer is record change and subscribed to a platform event. So I mentioned I do a lot of IoT, and when I triggered IoT event, I triggered lightning flows previously. I triggered them from the REST API. So I'd make a call into the REST API. I'd pass parameters into variables. I check the checkbox that says input variable, and that exposes the ability to post a JSON payload into the Lightning flow. And that was really easy. But guess what? Now I could post a platform event as the thunder goes in the background. Could you hear the lightning?
Oh, that was an actual.
That.
Yeah, that was not from Howard's soundboard.
That was
a
not
real,
from me. I did nothing like that.
Thunder strike right there, lightning strike and thunder. But anyway, so it's really cool now that you could, and when you modify a record in a custom object or a standard object, it could trigger a lightning flow. just like we used to do with Process Builder, right? That's what Process Builder does. You attach the standard object or the case object to the Process Builder, but now you can do that flow. Okay, I'll be quiet now. Mark, you're on.
All right, cool. Name 3 places a task can now be assigned to a queue. So assigning tasks to queues is a relatively new feature, and they've been Salesforce is expanding where you could assign it. So now there's 3 different places in Salesforce in the UI that you could assign a task to a queue as of summer 20.
So before this, you were not able to assign, you had to do everything manually. How did it work before this? For us non-admins over here.
There's one specific place you could do it, which is part of the answer. Now it's been expanded to 2 different places. So yeah, before you could do it in one spot, now you can actually do it 3 different places. You could assign a task to a queue. So makes it more flexible, more in line with everything else you can do. It's pretty cool.
I love that. All right, so we'll give people just a few more seconds to get their answer in the live stream. Oh, is that the rain I hear in the background now?
Yes, that's rain.
Oh, see, we don't even need sound effects anymore.
Should I mute? Is it too loud?
No,
it's very relaxing and soothing.
I should shoot the camera out the window. It looks like a blizzard out there without the snow.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, wow.
It's raining sideways.
It's raining cats and dogs.
That's right. Where's your dog? Have him bark.
Astros and Cody's.
There you go.
All right, I told you the stream was going to get weird. Let's reveal the answer before it gets too much.
There it is. So on the existing already on the task tab, and now as a global action and as a record page activity action, now you could do it. So basically in line with everywhere else, you could do tasks to regular owners. You could do now to a queue, which is really cool. All right. Not as cool as dynamic forms, but still pretty cool. All right, Charlie.
Okay, the next question. If they don't know the answer to this one, I'll be really surprised. What is the Salesforce 111 model?
So a non-summer 20 release question.
Right. So how specific? That's right. So how specific do they have to be? I guess they have to identify what each one is, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And then and not just that it's a well, am I allowed to give away part of the? I won't give the specific answer, but I'm going to do a shout out to some of the organizations that I volunteer for that I love dearly, and one of them is called Black Girls Code, and they are an organization that provides training for young women, ages, typically we get 10, we say 10 years old to, college age, so 10 to 17, but hopefully the classrooms will open back up in person, because that was the most fun, is when you can really watch their eyes light up in person. It's harder to train them virtually, but it's still happening. But it's really great. We've taken as young as 8-year-old girls. It's really a great organization.
It sounds like you really enjoy donating your time to this organization. Is that
right.
so?
That's right. I also like donating money.
Ooh.
Money. Yeah. And
maybe the tools that they
use. The equity
use.
part. What about? I don't donate my profit because I'm unprofitable, thanks to my wife. We had a wedding last year, and I gave my wife an unlimited budget for my daughter, and she exceeded it. So anyway, Mark, back to you, Mark.
All right, this one is kind of talked about this a little bit. So what new Service Cloud voice standard object? This is almost, if you think about it, the answer kind of will come to you automatically. Well, the new Service Cloud voice standard object will track and allow for transfers of calls.
What is the new Service Cloud voice standard object that will track and allow for transfers of calls? 30 seconds.
Think.
Think.
The answer is actually in the question if you think about it
You
carefully.
just have to highlight the right words in the question.
All right, we're getting loose here. I like
Very
it.
loose. You thought this was water the whole time.
It's a loose show. It's happy hour. It's getting weird. It's really hot on the East Coast. I think across the country as well.
I think my patio furniture just blew away too.
Well, no. and Charlie has no more patio furniture. All right, y'all. Let's reveal the answer.
The voice call object. Pretty straightforward naming wise.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't encourage the weather, Howard.
Sorry. You're gonna anger the weather gods.
That's right.
All right, Charlie, you're up.
On to the next question. Question number 8. We talked about dynamic forms before, didn't we? That was a previous answer to a question, wasn't it? About non-GA. Okay. Does dynamic forms support standard and custom objects? So
this is a yes or no question.
This is
kind of.
Yeah. Does it?
Yes. If we're really looking for detail on this question, but yes or no is acceptable too.
Does dynamic forms support standard and custom objects?
I like
the way Howard had to repeat the question because I messed it up. Although dynamic forms is actually another one of my favorite features because it allows you to get really granular about how you want to customize your page, right? Conditional formatting, pretty cool stuff.
I will say dynamic forms will be my favorite feature next spring.
Oh yeah, whoops! I forgot to say forward-looking statement.
Wait, hang on. I've got that.
And on top of that, I mean, dynamic forms also includes dynamic actions, right? That's also really cool too. That's a really cool feature.
And dynamic layouts.
Yeah.
And I think it will be even better when it starts supporting standard objects. So only custom objects
giving
at
away
this
the answer.
time. No case object.
Giving away the answer.
No case object for you.
As the lightning strikes again, you gave away the answer. Okay. Back to
All right,
Mark.
next question.
All right, this one's getting granular, this question. This is big because it's been a while for this coming. Identify at least 2 non-English languages that chatbots now support. Just 2 non-English languages. We'll also take the languages that are in beta if you happen to know what they are. So there's some that are released and some that are still in development beta. So we'll take any of those. So just 2. So this has been out there for a while, waiting for this to happen. Come on, Howard. Where's your voiceover? Where's your repeat?
Identify at least 2 non-English languages that chatbots now support. Please post your answers in the comments. Thank you.
I'm laughing not only at your voiceover, but every time there's a huge thunderclap here, I laugh. So you can tell that it's really thunder and not me slapping the desk or something.
As part of the Lightning Champions programs, one of the things I had to repeat very often was telling people that it's better in Lightning. So, Charlie, right now, the current weather conditions, is it better in Lightning?
It's always better in Lightning. It's always better.
All right, let's reveal the answer here for this question. Spanish, French, German, Italian, and Portuguese.
Molto bene y muy bien.
Okay, Charlie, you're up.
Okay, I'm up. You're up. That's right. That was about Europe. What object now supports custom report types?
What
Number 20.
object now supports custom report type?
Did I do the voiceover right?
That was excellent.
No, go ahead.
As
Howard,
Charlie
do it
said,
again.
what object now supports custom report types? This has been a recording.
I'll give you a hint. this is an object that I would never touch. I have nothing to do with this object.
Is that
I
a?
would never
That's
touch
No,
that
it's
object.
no Charlie very well.
Says the god of IoT.
I don't even know what this object does. I think it.
I'll give folks. It's a Sales Cloud definite object around Sales Cloud.
Oh, how did you know that? Why would I?
I'm giving you a hint.
All right,
Well,
price book entry.
That's right. I would never know what to do with it. What do I do with a price book entry? Does that do pricing or something?
Yeah,
I'm joking. I know all about this because I work with Salesforce.
Okay, I
Go
was
ahead,
hoping.
Mark, take over before I get myself born in the trouble here.
All right, we're going to switch to Einstein Analytics on this next question here. So for those of you guys pay attention to Einstein Analytics, what Einstein Analytics feature allows users to find insights across data sets without SACL or any additional data prep? Again, what Einstein Analytics feature allows users to find insights across data sets without SACL or any additional data prep? How was that, Howard?
Oh, he's on mute.
He's on mute.
Oh, case of the classic mute during a live
Case of the classic
broadcast.
mute. It was good delivery. Slow down a little bit. Breathe through the word analytics. Let analytics just breathe.
Breathe like a good wine.
Wait, can I? I could probably give a hint on this one. Let me see if I can.
Yeah, we'll allow hints. Of course.
I'll give a hint.
I think it's a visual hint. Hold for the visual hint from Charlie, please. Oh. He has put a KitchenAid
Blender.
No, it's a Mixmaster.
Mixmaster, okay.
KitchenAid. It is a mixer. Is that what it is?
To be
Does
honest,
it do something with
I
blending?
brought that in to
brought
mix
it
my
up-
drinks.
when he brought it up to the camera,
Yeah.
the way that it looked to me looked like it was from the wall. I thought it was a Wally. Just because all I saw was from the
Pixar.
Pixar, yeah.
Well, I brought that in because I didn't have a blender. I don't have a blender, so that's a food blender, food processor.
All right,
of
it
some
works.
sort. So
Yes,
it was
but when
in
you're
the
mixing
kitchen.
things
I was gonna
together,
mix my drink with that.
you can clearly blend things with a KitchenAid.
That's right.
Blend the ingredients together. In fact, brownies were made at my house this afternoon, and they used something like that, I believe.
Did we give away the answer yet?
We're really
You
close.
mean
Might as
the
well. Let's
answer
go
being
for it.
data blender,
Data blender.
perhaps?
Data blending.
There we go.
All right. So some of these questions are tough. All right, Charlie.
As a beta feature for Lightning Knowledge, what is the new alternative for controlling access?
Oh, sorry. I'm not supposed to answer.
Oh, yeah, don't answer. Okay, so Howard talked earlier about knowledge-centered support. I want to shout out to let's see, what's the Consortium for Service Innovation? Did I get that right? The name of
Consortium for
org?
Service Innovation is correct.
That's right. They create all the documentation around KCS standards and things like that. So I got involved with them like many, many years ago. They've been around since like the 90s, I think, I want to say. I think I was I was on one of their original committees defining knowledge standards. They're amazing.
They are.
Those folks.
I will tell you that one of the features that I talked about, the widespread issues feature that we're doing, is based around their article around intelligent swarming, where what they do in a knowledge process around getting lots of people to answer those questions together, which actually speaks to the answer to this. When you're trying to develop that documentation, it's hard to go fast with intelligent swarming. And that's actually what we're doing specifically in our product, is to make sure that it follows those same patterns, but allows you to do it super fast in a very emergent situation. So should we reveal the answer?
Yeah, and that's a
we
great
should.
augmentation to the existing Salesforce functionality, because sharing is caring, right? Salesforce
Sharing is caring.
Lightning knowledge sharing, treating Lightning knowledge more like a standard object. So it was always a neglected object, and now it's more like a standard object. So Mark, take it away on the next one.
Okay. This is not a summer 20 question. It's a general Salesforce trivia question. Hopefully everyone will get this one. What is a data relationship type between contacts and account? There's only 3 potential data relationships standard in Salesforce, so it's one of those 3. So what is a relationship between a contact and an account? Standard.
What is the data relationship type between contacts and account?
Have you ever made those ASMR videos? Have you made or audio tracks or videos?
You think I'm not currently moonlighting in my free time doing... I'm actually contracted with the Calm app.
I mean,
well, you should be recording the background here. It's got that rain thing going for me right now.
We got the rain sounds. Like, you thought that you were coming here for just a Salesforce trivia happy hour, and I'm just gonna put you right to sleep.
All right. Let's get the answer out there.
Yeah, let's do it.
Wait, we have to look it up first.
Yep.
Oh.
I see what you did there, Charlie. I see what you did.
Where's that sound effect?
All right, I think this is now our last question. Charlie, you get the last one.
Okay, back on flow. What does running a flow with elevated user permissions provide in a community?
What does running a flow with elevated user permissions provide in a community?
Hopefully somebody in the chat will tell us.
Yeah, because I have no idea.
We don't have the answers. No answer.
This one we don't know the answer to. So someone's going to get swag, and we're not going to know.
Somebody get it. Come on. We don't know.
So if anybody listening really wants to, this is a plug for what I am passionate about. I should have plugged a couple other organizations too, like Amplify, and anyway, there are like a dozen of them. But if anybody's listening and they want to embark on an IoT trail, let me know, because I'll help you hook your devices up to Salesforce. And that's what I do. And like I said, I use Flow or Process Builder, and you don't have to pay. Don't tell the account executives, don't tell the salespeople I said this, but it's free when you use Flow, right? You don't have to pay for it. It's built into the platform.
Nice.
Okay.
So Charlie, would that mean my current obsession with home automation, that I could make it so that when like all of a sudden cases get red flags, we could send out a little note that would make like all of the lights in my house start flashing?
Look at all this cool stuff I get to. These vendors are sending me. This is a patch that checks my oxygen level, my temperature, my EKG, my ECG. I've got devices that do contact tracing. I've got one that I've got all sorts of things.
That's awesome.
Companies are sending me to hook up to to Salesforce. Okay, should we do the answer?
Yes.
Yeah, let's do it.
It allows a guest user to create or edit fields that they do not have direct access to, which could be a really bad thing, or it could be a good thing.
Or a good thing.
That's your desire, right?
That's why you do elevate it temporarily in the flow and then bring it back down again.
There
With
we
great
go.
power comes great responsibility.
That's
Uncle
right.
Ben.
Thanks, Uncle Ben. I mean, Uncle Howard. Shout out to Spider-Man, all you Spidey fans out there. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for playing. That was our last question, right?
That was it.
Yeah, okay, awesome. So thank you, everybody, so much for playing along with us for our first ever live kickoff party. I hope you had a lot of fun. Before I go, I want to say thank you to my co-hosts, Howard, Mark, and Charlie Isaacs. Thank you so much for joining, for doing trivia, for telling everybody thank you for telling everybody what IC has been up to the last few months. And we are just getting started. So if you have any questions about Salesforce summer release, you're looking to take advantage of some of these features that we were talking about, and you just kind of want to bounce ideas off with a fellow admin, our consultants are here for you for the next 2 weeks. So from today through July 31st, you get free one-on-one coaching with our incredible consultants. We've got 10 with over a combined 50 plus certifications. It's really, really amazing. And you can go check them out, ic.force.com/servicecamp to sign up with a coach and get a little coaching session. If we're here for you. And then, congratulations to our trivia winners too. So remember to send your details over to servicecamp@internetcreations.com and we'll get some swag out to you. It may not be 2-day free shipping, but it's free stuff, so that's good. And all right, if you have questions, you can follow us on Twitter. So I'm Steph Ramos on Twitter. Howard is at H Yermish. Charlie is at Charlie Isaacs, and Mark, you're gonna have to go over to LinkedIn to go hang out with Mark. I know he has a Twitter handle.
Lame.
No way. I'm just faster on the tweets, on the 280 characters. So you know where to find me, and we will see you soon. So thank you, everybody, and have a great night.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Stephanie.
Bye.
Bye.